You can lose your phone by either getting robbed, or you might have left it at the cafe, or even in the subway. When you need it, is when you start searching. And wondering, if can't find my smartphone in all my pockets, where can it be? Have I lost my phone? How I can track my lost phone now? That moment is when you start remembering all the important data your device is hosting. Annually, millions of phones get stolen or lost. Almost all of the owners attempt various ways to recover their phones, but it's always in vain. But that is a decade ago. With the IMEI tracker for Lost Mobile, the chances of retrieving your phone are higher. You may start by reporting the case to the relevant authorities. In this case, the police are the first to start with. But, most of the time, this may take time, and retrieving your phone is often impossible. In this case, online IMEI number tracking apps are the best options. These free apps are the most popular methods due to the high success rate of locating your lost phone. What is the IMEI number on the phone? International Mobile Equipment Identity, abbreviated as IMEI, is a digital code with 14 to 17 digits. It is a form of mobile identity that makes each mobile unique from the other. It works the same way as your ID card does, except for representing the mobile set. What is the purpose of IMEI? When you know your IMEI number, it will come in handy in case you lose your phone or if it gets stolen. With this number, you still have some vital control over your phone even if it's not with you. You can attempt to recover it through online sites, applications, or through relevant authorities. Also, you may decide to render it worthless, so that whoever stole it will not be able to use it. You can do this by contacting your device carrier, to blacklist the device, by providing them with a lost phone IMEI number. This means the device will not make any calls, or receive any more. Also, it won't be able to connect online through the cellular network, even after replacing the SIM card with a new one. When you opt to purchase a second-hand phone, you will need the IMEI number. With the frequent theft on the phones, it's rather safe to be sure you are not getting a stolen property. Through this, you will also get to know if it's subjected to any claim by insurance or in a blacklist. How to find IMEI number on your phone? The first method is the simplest of all. Dial *#06#, and immediately the number will appear on your phone screen. In case your device is a dual, and you are using both slots, you will get IMEI for each slot of the SIM. The second method is checking the number in your phone setting. You then need to click the setting icon, and then a list with options under setting will appear. Scroll through the list while looking for the option about device or system. Then click on it after you get it, scroll the list and click on status, or about phone. You will get the IMEI number tracking under the list provided. Though this procedure may differ according to the phone, you will often get IMEI number incorporated somewhere in settings option step to find IMEI. The third option is to look for the IMEI number on the smartphone surface. It can be as a print on the backside of the phone for those with no removable back cover. Or it can be on the back of the phone when you remove the battery for those with removable back covers. Also, you can get the IMEI on the tray of the SIM card on a few phone brands. The last resort is checking the number on the packaging of your mobile phone, if you are still keeping it. You will find the IMEI as a print on the sticker somewhere on the phone box. Whichever option you choose in getting the IMEI number, ensure you record it somewhere secure. You might need it someday. In certain circumstances, your phone may get lost or stolen, but you didn't record somewhere the IMEI number. So what do you do in such a case? It's quite simple. If you had synchronized your Android with a Google account, you can access your IMEI number via the Google Dashboard website. You only need to sign into your Google account through the same account that you sync the phone. Google always registers every device IMEI number after syncing. In the Google Play, there are various phone tracking applications available. Each application has its own criteria, which they apply during the search of your lost phone. Some will require your cell phone number in order to trace the lost device. Others will need to be pre-installed in the lost phone for them to work. Each of the applications has advantages, as well as shortcomings. With the IMEI number tracking, you get to encounter a few shortcomings, such as the phone being turned off, and this is minor, since you can still trace the location it was last active. Another disadvantage is the wiping out of the IMEI, and replacing it with a new valid one. When this happens, forget about the gadget. But thanks to the manufacturers of these phones, it's quite an intricate and difficult process to achieve. Once you locate your phone, first call the police, and then check the places close to its location. If you were there at one given point, then it means you might have just left behind unknowingly. But if it's a new location that you never passed by, or went to, then consider other measures. It might be a great idea to go after the person with your phone, but you never know what their intentions are. The best decision at this point is to get security personnel who are in close proximity to your phone location. This way you will ensure your safety and the chance of retrieving your phone. But in case your device is quite far away with slim chances of retrieving it, consider locking down your device. This will protect all your data and prevent access to any information you feel is confidential. Alternatively, you can decide to remotely wipe out all your data and visit a carrier center to block the device permanently. Through this, the phone will become useless to the person who took it. With the increasing millions of users and purchasers of phones every year, there is also a drastic increase in demand. Considering the best phone comes with hefty prices, this has caused an incline in the demand for second-hand phones. As a result, the cases of phone theft are also on the rise. Thus it's a great idea to be extra cautious about how you handle your device while in the public. You never know who is targeting your phone. Thus, make it a habit to record somewhere secure your phone IMEI number. You never know when you might need it. Once stolen, as much as it may be intricate and difficult, changing the IMEI number is possible. You need to respond fast once you lose your phone. Use the online free IMEI tracker method. Follow the steps above and retrieve your lost phone as soon as possible. Additionally, you have to respond fast after pinpointing your phone location, because it might go dark again, and you never know when it will be online again. As an advanced measure, put extra security on your device to protect the data it holds. This is considering the technological advancements on phones. Unlike in the past, you can now have access to your accounts through the phone. Also, it can hold private data such as photos and other business files. In the wrong hands, you might be exposed to extortion. If you like our content, please consider to like and share. Leave comments below and subscribe to stay updated with us. See you next time.
Determining what are the most spoken languages in the world is a more difficult task than you might imagine. We can say with some confidence that Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic will make an appearance, but there are some surprises too. Would you have guessed that Bengali is in the top 10 most spoken languages? Roughly 7,117 languages are spoken all over the world. Impossible to learn every language, so we used to speak language depending upon where we are living. Then, there comes the role of most spoken languages in the world. Here, we have made the list of the top 10 most spoken languages in the world in 2021, so that you have no dilemma which language is widely spoken. Number 10. Indonesian language. Indonesian is an Austronesian language, that is the official language of Indonesia. Indonesian language didn't exist until 1928 along with its standardized version of Malay, and considered as a separate language only for political purposes. Over 199 million speakers are fluent speakers of Indonesian. But only 20 million of them actually use it as their first language. Indonesian has a simple language structure, which makes it easy to write and pronounce, also to learn. There are over 43 million native speakers of the Indonesian language, and the writing system of Indonesian is Latin Indonesian alphabet, and Indonesian Braille. There are some words that are borrowed from Sanskrit, Arabic, Dutch, English, and the local language which are commonly used. Number 9. Portuguese language. In 12th century, Portugal got its independence from Spain, and expanded all over the world. Starting in the 15th century, avid Portuguese traders and conquerors brought their language to Africa, Asia, and to America. The spread of Portuguese may have initially been tied to European colonization, but the colonized countries developed their own vibrant cultures that transformed the language forever. Today, Portuguese is spoken by 220 million native speakers, and is the official language of 9 countries like Brazil, Goa, Angola, Mozambique, Cape Verde, and so on. The majority of Portuguese speakers are not from Portugal, which means only 5% of Portuguese speakers live in Portugal. Portuguese is very similar to Spanish, so people can understand each other easily. Hundreds of words from the language are derived from Arabic, and 15% of Uruguay's population speaks it. Number 8. Russian. Although some people consider it as a harsh language in the world, yet it is the 8th most spoken language in the world. We used to think them as our enemies, but now we think of them as our friends. Famed for its inscrutable grammar and quite lovely Cyrillic script, it remains one of the 6 languages spoken in the United Nations. Russian is spoken in diverse places, not only in the mother country, but also in Belarus, Kazakhstan, and the US. More than 250 million people are speaking this language. It is widely used in Eastern Europe, the Baltic states, and Central Asia. The Russian language was the main language of the Soviet Union until its dissolution on the 26th of December 1991. It is mostly spoken in Israel and Mongolia. It is the largest native language in the Europe continent. Number 7. Bengali language. Admit it, you didn't expect Bengali to be on the list of most spoken languages, but this Indo-Aryan language is spoken in the eastern part of the Indian subcontinent. When you visit the countries where Bengali is spoken, you'll be greeted by a large continuum of regional dialects. Bangladesh and Sierra Leone are the 2 countries that use Bengali as the official language. Bengali-speaking people do not live in Sierra Leone, but Bengali is the official language for the status in recognition of the Bangladeshi peacekeeping force to restore the peace of that region. Bengali has developed over the course of more than 1,300 years ago, and in 1956 the Bengali language movement, demanding Bengali to be the official language of Pakistan. The grammar of the Bengali language is gender-free, which is quite an interesting fact too. Number 6. Arabic language. Arabic is one of the oldest languages spoken in the different countries of the world. Over 22 countries have Arabic as the official language, such as Saudi Arabia, Algeria, Egypt, Iraq, Oman, Qatar, Yemen, Sudan, Libya, and so on. The Holy Book of Muslims is written in Arabic, so the millions of Muslims are speaking Arabic in numerous countries of the world. In 1974, Arabic was made the 6th official language of the United Nations. Its number of speakers are more than 270 million living around the different countries of the world. Recent numbers put Arabic at around 315 million native speakers. But this is another instance of numbers not telling the full tale. Arabic, like Chinese, is so vastly different in its respective dialects as to be effectively a number of languages grouped as one for the sake of convenience. There are 2 Arabic forms. Classical Arabic or Quranic Arabic is more common in literature and writing. It is the language used in the Holy Quran, as well as ancient literary texts from the 7th to the 9th century. Modern Standard Arabic is the official Arabic taught in schools and universities, used in books, magazines, media, legal documents, etc. Number 5. French. Known for its pleasant, poetic sound, French is a Romance language of the Indo-European family that's officially spoken in 29 countries across multiple continents. Most countries where French is officially spoken are members of the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, whose mission is to promote cooperation, human rights, education, culture, and democracy in French-speaking countries. The birth of the French language is in Gaul, and more specifically from northern Gaul. About 45% of modern English words are of French origin, and it is one of the easiest languages for English speakers to learn. French is also considered an influential language in the diplomatic world along with English. It is accepted by many international institutions like the United Nations, the Red Cross, the European Union, the International Olympic Committee, etc., and international courts that use French as one of their official languages. Number 4. Spanish. The Spanish language is a beautiful Romance language, which was originated from the Iberian Peninsula, and it's also one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. It is spoken almost in every South American, and Central American country. And not to nominate the Spain, Cuba, and the United States. In US there is a great attention in the Spanish language, because many English words are borrowed from the language, including tornado, patio, bonanza, enchilada and more. There's a ton of learning material available in Spanish, not to mention a wealth of movies, music, and books. You can easily find people who speak Spanish fluently online, and connect with them using Skype. Over 483 million native speakers make it the second most spoken native language, and with over 530 million speakers, it is in the fourth most spoken languages in the world. Number 3. Hindi. The second most populated country, India, uses the Hindustani as its primary language. India has the largest Hindu population in the world. With more than 630 million speakers, it comes at third rank in the list of top 10 most spoken languages in the world. It is expected that the population of India will exceed the Chinese inhabitants soon, in a small amount of years. India has 23 official languages, with Hindi and Urdu chief among them. Hindi is an Indo-Aryan language that originated from India. Hindi is mostly influenced by Sanskrit, and named after the Persian word Hind. Each letter of the Hindi alphabet has its own distinct and independent sound. The Hindi language has a wide range of speakers, and the majority of Hindi speakers are found in India, Nepal, Trinidad, Tobago, Suriname, Guyana, Mauritius, Fiji, and several other countries, along with the United States and the United Kingdom. It was standardized in the 19th century, along with Urdu, and has many similarities in these two languages. Many will associate the Hindi language with the colorful Bollywood movies, or the chaotic traffic in Delhi. But Hindi has a lot more to give. Like 630 million potential friends, and access to an incredible variety of cultures. If you give this Indo-Aryan language a chance, you will not only discover superb music, entertaining movies, and warm people, but you will also see how it operates with English. Number 2. Mandarin Chinese. Mandarin is a group of Sinitic languages that was mostly spoken in northern and southwestern China. Over 1.1 billion people speaks Mandarin Chinese, which mainly originated in north of China. Mandarin Chinese is in the first position in terms of the native speakers, and in the second position in the most spoken languages in the world. Mandarin has the highest number of native speakers, and is spoken by 70% of Chinese speakers. This makes it the largest Chinese dialect by far. Mandarin is the tonal language. That means, the meaning of a word changes, based on the way we pronounce it. It consists of 50,000 different characters, which make it one of the most complex language to learn also. Mandarin started developing 1,000 years ago, and it is one of the several Chinese dialects. Speaking Mandarin is not so effortless, because each word can be pronounced in 4 ways, so a beginner will have the trouble to speak and distinguish the one tone from another. Until 1955, it was written in vertical columns, going from right to left, but the People's Republic of China has westernized the written language. So it is written, left to right, horizontally. Number 1. English. If you're listening this article, you may be one of the native English speakers, or one who speak it as a second language. The English language is the most spoken languages in the world, with over 1.2 billion total speakers. Although English does not have the most speakers, like Mandarin, yet it is the official language of more nations than other, and the most spoken languages in the world. It is part of the West Germanic language family, and is present on 6 of the 7 continents, as an official language. It is widely spoken in some areas of South Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean. Over 67 countries, and 27 non-sovereign entities speak the English language as the official language. It is a West Germanic language which was first spoken in early medieval England, and mostly associated with German, Low Saxon, and Frisian. It is the leading language of international discourse, and speaking in professional contexts, like navigation, science, and law. The relative ease with which English can be picked up, especially compared with Chinese, and the pervasive soft power of US culture means that English will continue to dominate the world stage for the foreseeable future. For some, English is still synonymous with opportunity and a better quality of life. If someone asks you, what is the most spoken language in the world? Now you know that the answer is English, at least when counting both native and non-native speakers. Learning one of the most spoken languages in the world is an excellent investment of your time. If you guys know any of the languages above, let us know in the comments below. Subscribe, and share these most spoken languages in the world list on social media to update your friends too.
In the last 10 years, billionaires have made more money than we thought. Fortunes can be made and lost in a day in our global economy. Today we're going to present the world's top 10 richest billionaires alive on the planet in 2021 and their real-time net worth according to Bloomberg.com. While many of the names in the top 10 are as iconic as the tech companies that propelled them to wealth and fame, there is always room for a few surprises. In addition to their business acumen and accomplishments, many of the people on the list are also active philanthropists. And if the thought of all that wealth feels intimidating and out of reach, consider that many billionaires are self-made and come from humble and unremarkable beginnings. Number 10. Sergey Brin, co-founder and board member at Google. Total net worth $82.9 billion. What makes Google unique, compared to the other companies featured on this list, is that its co-founders are relatively close, in terms of total wealth. Sergey Brin's involvement in Google follows a similar path to Page's. After the duo founded in the company in 1998, Brin served as co-president alongside Page until Eric Schmidt took over as CEO in 2001. Similarly, after founding Alphabet in 2015, Brin acted as the holding company's president before stepping down in 2019 when Sundar Pichai took over as CEO. Brin spent much of his time focusing on X, Alphabet's moonshot research laboratory, which is responsible for innovative technologies like the Waymo self-driving cars and Google Glass smart glasses. He has also donated millions of dollars toward researching a cure for Parkinson's, having partnered with the Michael J. Fox Foundation to devise new drugs against leucine-rich repeat kinase 2, also known as Dardarin, one of the greatest genetic contributors to the disease. Steve Ballmer, former Microsoft CEO, total net worth $83.6 billion. Longtime Microsoft employee and right-hand man to Microsoft founder Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer has been with the company through thick and thin, rising through the ranks to replace Gates as CEO. Steve Ballmer, as of the most recent report, owns around 333 million shares in Microsoft. Much of Ballmer's tens of billions net worth is up to the value of his shares in Microsoft. After spending multiple decades with the company, it should come as no surprise that Ballmer owns such a large portion of Microsoft's shares, especially in the CEO position that he occupied. At one point he even exceeded founder Bill Gates' total percentage of control in the shareholdings. It's been a long time since 2013, and those shares that Ballmer wisely held on to have done nothing but grow and grow in the time that has passed. Ever since his retirement, Ballmer has made numerous other investments, ranging from buying shares in other promising tech companies such as Twitter to turning a hand towards philanthropy. Larry Page, co-founder of Google, total net worth $85.7 billion. Larry Page, the co-founder of one of the world's most famous technology companies, Alphabet Incorporated, formerly Google, is one of the world's wealthiest people. Larry Page is an entrepreneur whose net worth trajectory began with the creation of Google and continues with many other investments. He and his business partner, Sergey Brin, have written themselves into history by creating the largest search engine. They are now some of the wealthiest people in the world. While working at Google, Larry Page technically took home a $1 yearly salary. Although he is no longer CEO, he is still worth billions due to his significant stake in the company. Warren Buffett, American investor, business tycoon, total net worth $86.7 billion. Warren Buffett is one of the richest people in the world, and arguably the best investor of all time. Warren Buffett is considered by many to be the most famous and successful investor in history. If you had invested $10,000 with Warren Buffett in 1966, today you would have over $160 million. That same $10,000 invested in the S&P would be $140,000. Buffett came from modest beginnings, which has shaped the way he views money management. He was born in Omaha, Nebraska, in 1930, and the town has been his home ever since. Working as an investment salesman, he had a knack for investing and eventually built Berkshire Hathaway into the company it is today. He still lives in the home he purchased in 1958 for $31,500. Despite his billions of dollars, Buffett says he eats at McDonald's for breakfast every day, and spends no more than $3.17 each time, and for years he used a $20 flip phone until finally upgrading to an iPhone 11. Berkshire owns roughly 5.9% of Apple. Warren Buffett has pledged to give away 99% of his net worth to charity before he dies. 83% of the money will go to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which makes it the largest charitable gift in human history. Buffett's philanthropy has inspired other billionaires to pledge at least 50% of their net worth to charity in their lifetimes as well, a truly remarkable accomplishment. Buffett keeps his net worth predominantly in Berkshire Hathaway and Berkshire Hathaway stock, the investment company he founded. Berkshire Hathaway acts as his investment vehicle and invests in such things as equities, real estate, and renewable energy. Zhang Shanshan, Chinese billionaire businessman, total net worth $89.0 billion. Zhang Shanshan has turned water into gold. Zhang, chairman of Chinese bottled water empire Nanfu Spring, has become the sixth richest person on the planet as shares in his company soared nearly 20% since the beginning of 2021. Zhang's fortune is now the largest in China. Last year saw the rich getting richer, and 66-year-old Zhang made most of his fortune during 2020 alone. His wealth grew by a staggering $71 billion throughout the year. The sources of Zhang's wealth are his roles as chairman at two major companies, bottled water maker Nanfu Spring and Beijing Wantai Biological Pharmacy Enterprise, which makes vaccines and hepatitis test kits. Nanfu Spring reported $3.5 billion in revenue in 2019, while Shanshan's pharmacy enterprise reported revenue of $171 million, per Bloomberg. In 2020, Zhang's net worth skyrocketed as he took both of his companies public. Beijing Wantai Biological Pharmacy Enterprise went public on the Shanghai Stock Exchange in April, and Nanfu Spring's $1 billion initial public offering in Hong Kong in September made Shanshan China's third richest person overnight. The 66-year-old billionaire is known as the lone wolf because he's not involved in politics or business groups. He rarely makes public appearances or speaks to the media, according to Chinese publication, The Paper. Mark Zuckerberg, founder and CEO of Facebook, total net worth $98.1 billion. Zuckerberg attended Harvard University, where he launched the Facebook social networking service from his dormitory room on February 4, 2004, with college roommates. Originally launched to select college campuses, the site expanded rapidly and eventually beyond colleges, reaching 1 billion users by 2012. Zuckerberg took the company public in May 2012 with majority shares. In 2007, at age 23, he became the world's youngest self-made billionaire. Mark owns 400 million shares of Facebook. That means at the IPO he ended the day with a paper net worth of around $15 billion. Mark Zuckerberg's salary is $1 per year. Many executives like Zuckerberg choose to pay themselves low salaries in order to increase the company's profits as much as possible. When the company maximizes profits, it increases the overall value of their stock holdings, which is where the executive's true wealth comes from. Executives like Eric Schmidt, Larry Page, and Sergey Brin each earn only $1 per year in salary. Mark has pledged to give away 99% of his wealth during his lifetime. In September 2017, he announced a plan to regularly sell off chunks of his shares to fund his foundation, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. Bernard Arnault, French billionaire businessman and art collector, total net worth $108 billion. Bernard Arnault has been serving as the chief executive officer of the Louis Vuitton conglomerate since 1989. Being the principal shareholder in the fashion company, he has become the wealthiest man in France and is among the richest in the world. Late last year, the business titan was, very briefly, the world's wealthiest individual before scooting down a couple of notches as the coffers of Amazon's Jeff Bezos ballooned. Arnault has seen the value of his luxury conglomerate plummet as the coronavirus pandemic has forced most of his brands, which include the likes of Louis Vuitton, Dior and Fendi, to temporarily shutter stores, and as travel restrictions have eliminated the lucrative line of tourist spending. An engineer by training, Arnault's business chops became apparent while working for his father's construction firm, Ferret Savinel, which he would take control of in 1971. He later converted Ferret Savinel to a real estate company named Fearonal Incorporated in 1979. Arnault remained Fearonal's chairman for another 6 years, until he acquired and reorganized luxury goods maker Financière Agache in 1984, eventually selling all of its holdings other than Christian Dior and Le Bon Marché. He was invited to invest in LVMH in 1987 and became the majority shareholder, chairman of the board, and CEO of the company 2 years later. Bill Gates co-founded Microsoft, total net worth $131 billion. On March 13, 1986, Microsoft went public on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, selling 2.9 million shares at $21 each, raising $61 million. Shares closed at $28 on first day of trading, making a 31-year-old Gates and his 11.1 million shares worth $310 million. By 1987, Gates was officially declared a billionaire, just days before his 32nd birthday. He was also officially the world's youngest self-made billionaire with a net worth of $1.25 billion, over $900 million more than he was worth in 1986. Bill Gates, who has been one of the wealthiest men in the world for decades, made his fortune as the co-founder of Microsoft. The company, which was a key player in the personal computer revolution in the 1990s, eventually became a corporate behemoth, and Gates became a household name as a tech titan and business magnate. Gates stepped down as Microsoft's CEO in January 2000, shifting his attention to philanthropy and other assorted projects. In March 2020, Gates stepped down from Microsoft's board, though he owning just about 1.3% of shares in the company. He is still one of the richest people on the planet with a net worth of around $130 billion. Jeff Bezos, Amazon CEO, total net worth $188 billion. Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos has a net worth of $188 billion and ranks as the second richest person on the earth today. His position remains the same even after divorcing his wife Mackenzie in 2019 and transferring a quarter of his stake in Amazon to her. In 1994, Jeff Bezos founded Amazon.com in a garage in Seattle, shortly after he resigned from the hedge fund giant D.E. Shaw. In fact, he had originally pitched the idea of an online bookstore to his former boss David E. Shaw, who wasn't interested. Though Amazon.com originally started out selling books, it has since morphed into a one-stop shop for everything under the sun, and is arguably the world's largest retailer. At any rate, it's hard to dispute its self-description as the Earth's most customer-centric company. Its pattern of constant diversification is evident in some of its unexpected expansions, which include acquiring Whole Foods in 2017 and launching its own branded over-the-counter drugs in February 2018. In 2020, Amazon's share price skyrocketed on the heightened demand for online shopping as lockdowns forced consumers to stay home. Bezos originally took Amazon public in 1997 and went on to become the first man since Bill Gates in 1999 to achieve a net worth of more than $100 billion. Elon Musk, founder of SpaceX and chief executive officer of Tesla Incorporated, total net worth $190 billion. The current richest man in the world, Elon Musk has had his hands in several different companies over the years. Musk deferred his attendance to launch Zip2, one of the earliest online navigation services. A portion of the proceeds from this endeavor were then reinvested to create X.com, an online payment system that later became PayPal. While both of these systems were eventually sold to other companies, Musk has maintained his status as CEO and lead designer of his third project, Space Exploration Technologies, SpaceX, which aims to make space exploration more affordable. In 2004, Musk became a major funder of Tesla Motors, now Tesla, which led to him being retroactively declared a co-founder in his current position as CEO of the electric vehicle company. In addition to its line of electric automobiles, which include sedans, sport utility vehicles, and the Cybertruck announced in 2019, Tesla also produces energy storage devices, automobile accessories, merchandise, and, through its acquisition of Solar City in 2016, solar power systems. At the beginning of 2020, Musk's net worth was nearly $30 billion. But, Tesla's exceptional year sent that number climbing, as the electric automaker's stock has exploded by over 650% since the start of the year, thanks to Tesla setting new sales records and reporting its fifth consecutive profitable quarter. Musk owns a roughly 20% stake in Tesla, so the company's surge provided the main boost for his personal gains, added a whopping $140 billion to his net worth in 2020, bringing the total to $190 billion, as of 1st of February, according to Bloomberg. If you want to get a little closer to richest billionaires list, you might need to become a technological innovator or a retail king. Or you can keep it simple and focus on value investing. It also wouldn't hurt to start out by coming from wealth, as Arno and some other super wealthy individuals did. However, the greatest fortunes on the list started as great ideas. If you like our content, please consider to like and share. Leave comments below and subscribe to stay updated with us. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Dietary approaches to stop hypertension, or DASH, is a diet recommended for people who want to prevent or treat hypertension, also known as high blood pressure, and reduce their risk of heart disease. The diet was created after researchers noticed that high blood pressure was much less common in people who followed a plant-based diet, such as vegans and vegetarians. The DASH diet emphasizes the right portion sizes, variety of foods, and nutrients. Emphasizes fruits and vegetables while containing some lean protein sources like chicken, fish, and beans. The diet is low in red meat, salt, added sugars, and fat. The DASH diet encourages you to reduce the sodium in your diet and eat a variety of foods rich in nutrients that help lower blood pressure, such as potassium, calcium, and magnesium. By following the DASH diet, you may be able to reduce your blood pressure by a few points in just 2 weeks. Over time, the top number of your blood pressure, systolic blood pressure, could drop by 8 to 14 points, which can make a significant difference in your health risks. Beyond reducing blood pressure, the DASH diet offers a number of potential benefits, including weight loss and preventing osteoporosis, cancer, heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. However, you shouldn't expect DASH to help you shed weight on its own, as it was designed fundamentally to lower blood pressure. Weight loss may simply be an added perk. Many researchers have found that certain foods can lower high blood pressure. We look at which foods work, and how to incorporate them into a healthful diet. If you can control what you eat, you can control high blood pressure, so the best way to start, by focusing your grocery list on these healthful choices. Leafy green vegetables. Salt makes your body hang on to more fluid. That bumps up your blood volume, and the pressure on your arteries, which make your blood pressure climb. Fill your plate with leafy greens like spinach, kale, or collards for a potassium boost. The mineral helps flush sodium out of your body through your pee, and relaxes your blood vessel walls. Berries. Blueberries and strawberries contain antioxidant compounds called anthocyanins, a type of flavonoid. Researchers conducted a large study with more than 34,000 people with hypertension. They found that those with the highest intake of anthocyanins, mainly from blueberries and strawberries, had an 8% reduction in the risk of high blood pressure, compared to those with a low anthocyanin intake. Enjoy berries as a snack, or sweet treat after meals, or add them to smoothies and oatmeal. Pistachios. These addictive, snack time favorites are packed with healthy fats that taste good, and are good for you. Just be sure to lose the salt. If you're not a fan of pistachios, or you're just looking for variety, other tree nuts, like almonds and walnuts, are also great for reducing blood pressure, both the systolic and diastolic readings, the upper and lower numbers. Bananas. Bananas are rich in potassium, with one average-sized banana packing about 420 milligrams. That's about 9% of the recommended daily intake. Bananas are also rich in fiber, and lend a natural sweetness to smoothies, baked goods, and frozen treats. Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is a nutrient-dense dairy product that's packed with minerals that help regulate blood pressure, including potassium and calcium. A review of 28 studies found that consuming 3 servings of dairy per day was associated with a 13% lower risk of high blood pressure, as well as that a 7-ounce increase in dairy intake per day was associated with a 5% reduction in hypertension risk. Salmon and other fatty fish. While fatty foods may seem like they have no place in a high blood pressure fighting meal plan, fatty fish like salmon are a major exception to that rule. Salmon is loaded with heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids. These fatty acids help reduce inflammation, lower risk of heart disease, and lower blood pressure into a healthy range. Research reveals that omega-3 supplementation reduced blood pressure among older patients, and those with hypertension, making this tasty protein-rich fish a must-eat for anyone whose blood pressure has crept into a concerning range. Broccoli. Broccoli is known for its many beneficial effects on health, including the health of your circulatory system. For example, adding this cruciferous veggie to your diet may be a smart way to reduce blood pressure. Broccoli is loaded with flavonoid antioxidants, which may help lower blood pressure by enhancing blood vessel function, and increasing nitric oxide levels in your body. A study that included data from over 180,000 people found that those who consumed 4 or more servings of broccoli per week had a lower risk of high blood pressure than those who consumed broccoli once a month or less. Oatmeal. This whole grain is healthy, filling, and low in sodium. It's also full of fiber, which helps keep your weight and blood pressure under control. Cook your rolled or steel-cut oats with water, or low-fat milk. Swap out the maple syrup or brown sugar, with raisins or bananas, for a touch of sweetness. Beets. Drinking beet juice can reduce blood pressure in the short and long terms. Researchers reported that drinking red beet juice led to lower blood pressure in people with hypertension who drank 250 milliliters, about 1 cup, of the juice every day for 4 weeks. The researchers noticed some positive effects within 24 hours. In this study, those who drank 1 cup of the beet juice every day had an average drop in blood pressure of around 4 millimeters of mercury. For many, this change brought their blood pressure within the normal range. On average, a single blood pressure medication reduces levels by 5 points. The researchers suggested that beets' high levels of inorganic nitrate cause the reduction in blood pressure. It may help to drink a glass of beet juice each day, add beets to salads, or prepare the vegetables as a healthful side dish. Olive oil. This kitchen essential can be a real lifesaver. Packed into this multitasker's arsenal is a whole bunch of fatty acids and antioxidants. Polyphenols, a protective antioxidant, keeps your blood vessels flexible and help lower high blood pressure. Use it as a butter replacement, and you'll reap even more benefits on your path to reducing your blood pressure. Garlic. Garlic is a natural antibiotic and antifungal food. Its main active ingredient, allicin, is often responsible for associated health benefits. Some research suggests that garlic increases the body's production of nitric oxide, which helps the smooth muscles to relax and the blood vessels to dilate. These changes can reduce hypertension. One study reported that garlic extract reduced both systolic and diastolic blood pressure in hypertensive people. Garlic can enhance the flavor of many savory meals, including stir-fries, soups, and omelets. Using garlic instead of salt can further promote the health of the heart. Bell peppers. Bell peppers are an excellent source of vitamin C, even more than citrus fruits, which has been shown to improve cardiac function and lower blood pressure. Research reveals that loading up on vitamin C reduced blood pressure by 5 millimeters of mercury in patients with hypertension, making these versatile veggies a smart addition to any meal plan. Sweet potatoes. Potassium and magnesium-rich sweet potatoes are an essential part of following a blood pressure-reducing diet. Sweet potatoes are also high in fiber, which is good for your heart too. Dark chocolate. Don't deprive yourself of dessert just because you're eager to get your blood pressure under control. A little dark chocolate can go a long way when it comes to lowering those numbers, thanks to its flavonoid content. Flavonoids, a type of plant-based pigment, have been linked to reductions in blood pressure, thanks to their ability to improve endothelial function, according to researchers. Just make sure you're choosing real dark chocolate for the biggest benefit. Foods high in sugar, like most milk chocolate bars, have been linked to an increase in blood pressure. Reduce your risk of chronic disease even further by discovering and ditching the worst habits for heart health ASAP. Chia and flax seeds. Chia and flax seeds are tiny seeds that are teeming with nutrients that are essential for healthy blood pressure regulation, including potassium, magnesium, and fiber. A small, 12-week study that included 26 people with high blood pressure found that supplementing with 35 grams of chia seed flour per day led to blood pressure reductions in both medicated and unmedicated people, compared with a placebo group. Additionally, results from a review of 11 studies suggested that eating flax seeds may help lower blood pressure levels, especially when consumed in their whole seed form for 12 weeks or longer. Kiwis. A daily serving of kiwi can reduce blood pressure in people with mildly elevated levels, according to results of one study. The researchers compared the effects of apples and kiwis on people with slightly high blood pressure. They found that eating 3 kiwis a day for 8 weeks resulted in a more significant reduction in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure, compared with eating 1 apple a day for the same period. The authors suspect that the bioactive substances in kiwis cause the reduction. Kiwis are also rich in vitamin C, which may significantly improve blood pressure readings in people who consumed around 500 milligrams of the vitamin every day for about 8 weeks. Kiwis are also easy to add to lunches or smoothies. Green tea. Caffeine addicts, rejoice. Often labeled as a troublemaker, caffeine finds its redemption in tea. While a single cup won't do much, long-term intake can noticeably reduce your blood pressure and your risk of stroke and coronary artery disease. Green tea is best, but you'll also get these benefits from black tea. Pink grapefruit. Start your day with zesty grapefruit, and see your blood pressure numbers soar into a healthy range. In addition to being an excellent source of blood pressure lowering, immune boosting vitamin C, pink grapefruit is a good source of lycopene. Multiple studies have found that lycopene is effective at reducing blood pressure. In fact, a Finnish study published in Neurology reveals that study subjects with the highest concentrations of lycopene in their blood decrease their risk of stroke by 55%. Herbs and spices. Certain herbs and spices contain powerful compounds that may help reduce blood pressure by helping blood vessels relax. Celery seed, cilantro, saffron, lemongrass, black cumin, ginseng, cinnamon, cardamom, sweet basil, and ginger are just some of the herbs and spices that have been shown to have blood pressure lowering potential, according to results from animal and human research. Pomegranates. Drinking pomegranate juice regularly may help chisel away at your blood pressure numbers. But watch out for the added sugar. Also, juices don't have the fiber you get from the fruit. So be sure to add fiber from other foods to help keep your heart healthy and your bowels regular. Along with other lifestyle modifications, adopting a healthy diet can significantly lower blood pressure levels and help reduce your heart disease risk. According to research, adding certain foods like leafy greens, berries, beans, lentils, seeds, fatty fish, citrus fruits, and carrots to your meals and snacks may help you reach and maintain optimal blood pressure levels. If you have high blood pressure levels, or are looking to maintain healthy blood pressure, adding a few of the foods listed in this video to your diet may help. If you like our content, please consider to like and share. Leave comments below and subscribe to stay updated with us. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Every day offers you an opportunity to save a life. You could save a drowning child from a pool, perform CPR, or pull somebody out of a car in an accident. Those are a few ways lives are saved every day. Most of us are not put in positions regularly to be heroes. Fortunately, drownings and CPR are not everyday occurrences for the general public, however bad things can happen all the time. Whether it's emotionally or physically, there are ways to prepare yourself for situations in which you could step in to help save a life. Taking action now could even help to prevent such situations from happening in the first place. Here is the top 10 list of life-saving action that can be taken easily today. Number 10. Know your way around the buildings you frequent. Emergency exit routes are important because they provide a clear, safe way to evacuate a building in case of a crisis or disaster. Identifying emergency exits and emergency exit routes are an important part of your survival. One of the first things you should do when walk into a bar, shop, movie theater, or anything remotely close to those buildings, immediately scope out the emergency exit light, staircases, fire extinguishers. When you arrive to any large venue, you should locate all exits, first aid centers, bathrooms, and visitors center. Number 9. Listen during the flight safety instructions. Although plane accidents are not that frequent, it is always better to be safe than sorry. Safety instructions will explain where to find and how to use emergency equipment you, as a passenger, may have to operate. In case of an emergency, a well-briefed passenger will depend less on crew members and have a better chance of survival. So, no matter what you're doing, it's far more important to give flight attendants your full attention for 2 minutes. Their instructions can save your life. Number 8. Learn the Heimlich maneuver. The Heimlich maneuver is a life-saving first aid technique. It is performed when someone is choking and unable to breathe. The maneuver consists of a person wrapping their arms around the other, using the technique to thrust a piece of food or foreign object out of their throat. People choke to death daily, from kids to adults. The Heimlich maneuver is a pretty simple way to prevent death. The maneuver is applied when an object becomes lodged into the windpipe of an individual, and needs to be dislodged. You would be surprised by the amount of people that do not know how to perform the Heimlich. Don't be that person that someone else dies around because you couldn't help them. Go take a short class on it, and prepare yourself to save a life. Number 7. Donate to charities. Your donation can change someone's life. You might think about charity as something you do with the extra change you find lying around, or by supporting a friend running in a local race. However, the modest amount of charity can accomplish, when given to the right organizations. It's common for charities to make big promises, and in most cases they can't deliver. But a few can truly demonstrate impact. With these charities, your donation can make a real difference. Donating to charity is a fantastic way to use your resources to significantly improve the world. However, where you donate really matters because some charities are much more effective than others. That's why evaluating charities based on their effectiveness is really important. Number 6. Make yourself available to others. You may be doing fine, but others around you may be suffering internally. This could be kids, co-workers, spouse, or friends. Anyone can suffer from depression or have suicidal thoughts. Keeping communications open with the people around you can save a life one day. Talk with your loved ones, let them know you are there, and available should they ever need anything. By empowering our youth to be strong, and take a stand against something that is not right, we can help them make the right decisions, and potentially help those in need. Bullying and harassment can drive kids to suicidal thoughts. Keeping the communication lines open with our youth, and encouraging them to reach out to those they see in need of a hug or a helping hand can prevent these tragedies from happening. Be that supporting anchor in the lives of loved one or a complete stranger. Make yourself available to others. Number 5. Become a bone marrow transplant donor. Bone marrow is a soft, spongy material found in your large bones. It makes more than 200 billion new blood cells every day, including red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. But for people with bone marrow disease, including several types of cancer, the process doesn't work properly. Often, a bone marrow transplant is a person's best chance of survival and a possible cure. A bone marrow transplant is a medical procedure performed to replace bone marrow that has been damaged or destroyed by disease, infection, or chemotherapy. This procedure involves transplanting blood stem cells, which travel to the bone marrow, where they produce new blood cells and promote growth of new marrow. There are cancer patients all over the world that are in need of a bone marrow transplant. Diseases like leukemia are life-threatening, but can be treated medically with bone marrow and stem cell transplants. Number 4. Learn CPR. CPR, or cardiopulmonary resuscitation, is an emergency life-saving procedure performed when the heart stops beating. Immediate CPR can double or triple chances of survival after cardiac arrest. Do you have a family member or a friend who has a chronic illness? Maybe you know someone who has asthma or even simply allergies. Knowing CPR can save their lives, it can also save yours. If you know CPR, and you happen to be in a situation when a stranger needs help, you'll be able to help, and give that person a better survival rate. CPR training is available to anyone, and easily accessible. CPR skills. It's easy to think you will never need them if you haven't witnessed a serious accident or injury. But it's time to think again. One day a friend, family member, colleague, or stranger may rely on you to save their life. The few short hours you spent learning the skill of CPR can be richly rewarded. Number 3. Become a blood donor. Blood transfusions are a daily occurrence. Since blood cannot be created in a laboratory, and there are no substitutes, patients depend solely on donations. Many people are not aware of just how important blood donations can be. Approximately 1 of every 7 people admitted to the hospital need blood. Many different people experiencing a large range of conditions require blood provided through donation. There are several blood types, and the rarer ones are always in higher demand. One of the rarest types of blood, O negative, can be given to patients of any blood type, so donations of O negative blood are especially needed. If you do not know what blood type you are, it may be helpful to find out. If your blood type is rare, your blood donation would be especially appreciated. However, all donations, no matter the type, are always needed and valued. Number 2. Washing hands. The practice of hand washing is essential to preventing the spread of disease. Soap effectively eliminates germs that would otherwise be spread to surfaces, items, food, and other people. And it keeps you safe from them too. In poorer areas, where the risk is greatest, proper hand washing with soap can reduce cases of diarrhea by 30%. Respiratory infections like the common cold are also reduced by 20%. This is a huge benefit to those communities, as every reduction is also preventing the spreading of those illnesses. It is also important to know when to wash our hands, after going to the toilet, and before touching food. These are critical opportunities to prevent the catching and spreading of germs, so forming a reliable hand washing habit is essential. Number 1. Do not drive under the influence. Any amount of alcohol in your bloodstream can impact your driving ability. The effects of alcohol abuse vary greatly, putting you at risk for causing an accident or highway injury. Safe driving requires the ability to concentrate, make good judgments, and quickly react to situations. However, alcohol affects these skills, putting yourself and others in danger. When alcohol is in your system, it affects how quickly you're able to respond to different situations. Drinking slows your response time, and can influence your concentration, which can highly increase the likelihood of an accident. With affordable taxi options available at the swipe of your smartphone, you should never have a reason to get behind the wheel of a car impaired. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you like our content, please consider to like and share. Don't keep your thoughts to yourself. Leave comments below and subscribe to stay tuned with us. See you next time.
If you have a toothache, it's important to figure out what's at the root of your discomfort. From there, you can determine how to best relieve any pain, swelling, or other symptoms. A toothache is a painful annoyance, especially at night. Getting a toothache at night can make falling asleep, or staying asleep very difficult. However, there are a number of remedies that may help people find relief and get to sleep. In this video, learn more about 10 home remedies for relieving a toothache at night. You should also talk to your dentist before using any of the following remedies if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or have any medical condition that may be impacted by herbal ingredients. Apply a cold compress. In general, there are 2 ways to stop or blunt toothache pain. The first involves reducing inflammation, while the second centers on interrupting the signals from the injury to the brain. You can accomplish the first goal by applying a cold pack or bag of frozen vegetables to the side of your face for 20 minutes at a time. Just be sure to use a piece of cloth as a buffer, so you don't accidentally damage your skin. This can help alleviate discomfort by blunting pain and reducing swelling. Clove oil. Clove oil works to relieve pain and reduce the swelling that stems from the toothache. Clove oil is effective because it contains eugenol, a natural anesthetic. It acts as a temporary pain reliever. Soak up a few drops of clove oil in a cotton ball, then gently rub the cotton ball over the affected teeth and gums. Clove oil may soothe your pain, but be aware that it doesn't have the most pleasant taste. Garlic. Garlic has antibacterial properties that have allowed it to be used for medicinal purposes for centuries. It also helps relieve discomfort, so it can have phenomenal results as a toothache remedy. Mash a fresh clove of garlic into a paste, or slowly chew it with the affected tooth. If the taste of raw garlic is overpowering, try mixing the paste with a small amount of salt. The salt may also help clean and reduce swelling. Cucumber slices. Want something that tastes better than garlic? Cucumber slices can help bring relief to your wisdom tooth pain. They don't have the same infection-fighting properties, but when your mouth hurts, they can work in a pinch. Take a cucumber and cut into small slices. Completely rinse the cucumber and place the slices in the refrigerator. When your tooth begins to hurt, take one slice of cucumber and put it in your mouth directly on the infected tooth. The coolness from the cucumber will soothe the ache and take away the pain. Salt and hot water. The most common, and arguably the easiest, method for relieving tooth pain can be accomplished easily with just salt and water, something everyone has in their kitchen. Salt and hot water has long been known to provide relief for toothaches. This solution will draw out the fluids from the gums that are causing the irritation and help reduce the aching sensation. Mixing a single tablespoon of salt in a glass of hot or warm water, and then rinsing, gargling will provide the relief, which can be repeated if necessary. Peppermint tea. Swishing peppermint tea can help clear debris similarly to a saltwater rinse, but with the added benefit of having some numbing power. The flavor may also be more appealing to children, who often dislike saltwater. You can also use the tea bag as a compress against the affected tooth. Ensure the tea bag has cooled off first, then hold it in place against the tooth until the discomfort subsides. Rinse your mouth with a hydrogen peroxide mix. Hydrogen peroxide is a compound that helps kill any harmful bacteria that could be the cause of your toothache. Hydrogen peroxide also helps reduce inflammation, which could help alleviate pain. To make the mix, take equal parts water to the hydrogen peroxide, in order to dilute the compound. Swish this around in your mouth, as you would with regular mouthwash for 30 seconds to a minute. It's important to not swallow any of this mixture, be sure to spit it out after swishing. Repeat this 2 to 3 times a day. Apply pressure. Try an acupressure technique to stop tooth pain fast. With your thumb, press the point on the back of your other hand, where the base of your thumb and your index finger meet. Apply pressure for about 2 minutes. This helps trigger the release of endorphins, the brain's feel-good hormones. Apply sensitive toothpaste after brushing. Sensitive toothpaste is designed to help relieve general tooth pain, and can be used as a spot treatment for toothaches. After you are finished brushing your teeth, rub a small smear of toothpaste designed for sensitive teeth around the painful or sensitive tooth. Do this 2 times a day to help reduce pain in the tooth and surrounding gums. Aloe vera. Aloe vera gel, which can be found within the succulent plant's leaves, has long been used to heal burns and minor cuts. Some people now use the gel to clean and soothe gums. Studies have shown that aloe vera has natural antibacterial qualities and can destroy germs that cause tooth decay. The gel should be applied to the painful area of the mouth and gently massaged. More than all this, maintain good dental hygiene by brushing twice a day, rinsing the mouth after consuming anything, and regular flossing and rinsing with a mouthwash. In case you have sensitive teeth, try switching to toothpaste made for sensitivity. If your symptoms persist for more than a day or 2, see your dentist. They can provide guidance on how to relieve your symptoms and prevent future pain. We hope you loved this video. If so, please share this with your friends or teammates on social media.